Welcome to Techstination. Joining us is Daniel Lalley, communications lead at a company called Brondell, Brondell. Thank you for joining us, Daniel.
Thanks for having me, Fred.
And Brondell has carved out a significant business with electronic bidet toilet seats and water filtration devices for the home. Give us a little background about the company.
Brondell was started in 2003 by our founder, Dave Samuels. Your listeners might know Dave from the early techboom.com era in San Francisco. So Dave was the founder of a company called Spinner, which was an MP3 downloading platform, which he then sold to AOL. He then went on to found a video streaming service to compete with YouTube. And at that time, he actually met Mark Cuban because Mark Cuban was doing broadcast.com. So the two of them sort of had a connection in that world. And then later, when we started getting investors in Brondell around 2003, Mark Cuban actually started to invest in us as well. But the history with bidets and Dave goes back even further than that. It sort of started when he was younger as a computer programmer. He and his father were in Japan. His dad was on a business lunch. They were sitting there having lunch together with some colleagues, and Dave got up to use the bathroom. And he goes in and sees what is one of the early iterations of an electronic bidet seat. And being sort of the curious programmer that he is, he looks on the side and sees all these buttons. Well, he quickly learned that one of those buttons on the sidearm control of that bidet seat provided a little more than he had bargained for. And the bidet water comes out and squirts him sort of all over his pants area. So it just stuck with him for a long time. And through all of those other ventures, he sort of continued his curiosity with bidets and then eventually founded Brondell after having been very successful in the early .com boom and the Web 1.0 era.
That's an interesting history, and they've got quite a product line that has been developed over the years. Let's talk about some of the latest. First of all, in the bidet line.
So our latest in the bidet category would be our Swash 1400. I believe that's the one that you've been trying out recently. That product is very robust in its feature sets. It's our flagship model. It comes complete with, customizable washes. One thing unique to the custom washes in the Brondell Swash 1400 is our spray width adjustment. Not too many other companies provide that. Aside from that, it's got a heated seat, warm air dryer, and actually self-sterilizing dual stainless steel nozzles too, sort of set it apart from everything else. And then, it's got some other really cool bells and whistles like a built-in deodorizer and a night light. So if you're up at the middle of the night, you need to use the restroom, you don't have to turn on the light, you don't get waken up. You got this cool little glow right there in the toilet seat. Aside from the 1400, we have a complete line of seats at varying price ranges. We've got Swash 1000, 1200, SC600, SC400, all with comparable feature sets, and not quite as robust though as the 1400. And then we have eco seats that don't use electronics. You can just use those with the water pressure straight from your water outlet by the toilet. And then aside from the electronic seats, we also offer bidet attachments and bidet sprayers, which are a little bit easier to install. The bidet sprayers are more traditional type bidets found in other European countries, so a lot of that market sort of likes to use those bidet sprayers. But the thing we're most proud of is the Swash 1400 right now.
So prices start for the electronic seats where? Somewhere around $280 or so?
Yeah, so they start around, it depends on when you're buying. Obviously, we have promos and things like that on the website. So if you buy direct, you can usually get 10 to 15% discount if you enter your email address. So yeah, around $250 they start out, and then they can go up to around like the $650 range for the highest end. seats.
And what are your thoughts about the market for these in the U.S.? Been slower to catch on, I suppose, than many other countries.
Absolutely. I mean, that's one of the things that we strive constantly to promote awareness and just generally get the word out about the elevated comfort and hygiene that bidet seats offer. So the American market has been sort of slow to catch on for a number of reasons. One being sort of our puritanical roots. In the World War II days, GIs would go to Europe and they would go to brothels a lot of the times, and they would notice that some of the, I guess you would say, like women of the night were using bidets. So they would come back and tell these stories, and then bidets sort of got associated with that type of culture. So it never really broke free from that, and it's always kind of been a bit taboo until recently. People are now starting to catch on, of course, but it's still a matter of just educating and bringing awareness to it. And once people try them, they don't ever go back to toilet paper anymore. They absolutely, we convert believers all the time here at Brondell, where people are just like, I can't believe I was ever, using toilet paper for so long. I mean, it saves money. It feels better. You get cleaner. And with the types of seats that are coming out now, the comfort level is just second to none.
And with the higher end, you're building plenty of technology into these too. I'm waiting for the day when there's some smart speaker technology or something attached to it.
Hey, if that comes out, we'll be the first to do it, because we're constantly trying to innovate and put more and more into our seats. But yeah, we've thought about that as well, and also Bluetooth and all those types of things. So, we're working on it. We're just trying to get one thing at a time for right now. But obviously, you've seen the evolution from early bidet seat models up to our Swash 1400. So, that's not too far off, I wouldn't say.
You also have some interesting water filtration systems that can be used in various areas, I suppose, of the home.
We have a full range of water filtration options, from simple countertop carbon block filters, which are really convenient and easy to install, and they, produce a good high capacity amount of water it's a lot better than having a pitcher filter like Brita, because you can only sort of fill up a little bit at a time, whereas our countertop carbon water filtration systems, it's on demand. They look great. We've got a couple models that could go with sort of any kitchen motif. And then aside from that, we have under counter carbon block 3-stage filtration and a single stage filtration system in our Coral line. And those are really easy to install. They come with a cool separate faucet, and it's a chrome faucet with an LED indicator, little blue light on the handle, so that it knows when your filters are running, old, and it's time to replace them. And then at the end of our water filtration suite, we have our Circle reverse osmosis system, which is really in a class of its own as far as reverse osmosis. It's about the most efficient RO system on the market right now, at 2.1 gallons of wastewater to 1 gallon of filtered water. And just to sort of give your listeners some background, that's about 10 times more efficient than other RO systems, which can easily produce, up to around 20 gallons of wastewater for every gallon of filtered water. So that was a big problem with RO that we sort of noticed, and we took it upon ourselves to innovate and come up with a better solution for that technology. The Circle also has the sleekest look of any RO system that I've ever seen. It looks great. Kind of looks more like, and you've seen this, looks more like a Mac computer tower, I tell people, than it does a water filtration system.
Or something like a coffee maker or something like that. It just goes underneath the sink, and it is pretty easy to install as well. Tell us what the advantages are to a reverse osmosis water system.
With RO, you're getting it's about the cleanest filtration that you can get aside from distillation. Um, Reverse osmosis works by forcing water through a semi-permeable RO membrane. And that membrane is so powerful that it's able to remove a number of TDS, uh, heavy metals, arsenic, barium, radium, copper, lead, fluoride, aesthetic chlorine, which is a big thing for taste, volatile organic compounds, cysts. I mean, our circle is rated for basically all of these substances. So you can pretty much be sure that when you are running your water through an RO system, that you're getting about the cleanest water in-home filtration that you can. And with the circle, you're not wasting a bunch of water in that filtration process. It's got a very low wastewater to water ratio.
Now, folks may wonder, well, if they have municipal water system, do I really need this? People with well water may think it's maybe more valuable.
Absolutely. I would definitely recommend it if you're getting water from your own well. With the municipal water treatment, yes, most municipalities do a great job of filtering water, and there's not too much to worry about. But we've seen recently in cities like Flint, Michigan, and New York, New Jersey, you can't always really depend on municipal water treatment plants to give you, the highest quality drinking water. And there's a lot of things that can contribute to bad taste and smell in water, and a lot of those are source contaminants at the treatment facility. One of those would be aesthetic chlorine. A lot of people have a problem with aesthetic chlorine making their water taste off. And then there's a new type of chlorine right now called chloramine, which is even harder to eliminate from your water. So these types of additives, to help the treatment facility will actually add to the water to help clean it, and actually make your water not taste as good. Even though your water should be, for the most part, okay to drink, unless you're living in an area where there's lead leaching in from the pipes, like we've seen recently in Newark, you can make your water a lot better, a lot healthier, and taste a lot better with reverse osmosis.
Tell us about the economics. How expensive is it in comparison to, say, bottled water, or even people having water coolers in their homes?
Oh, it's definitely a lot less expensive than bottled water and a lot better for the environment. For a couple $100, some of our systems don't even cost $100. You've got fresh, filtered water on tap at your home at all times. Water coolers, those too come at an expense. You've got to have them delivered, and you've got to deposit the bottles, and it's kind of a pain just changing them out. With this, or with our circle, your filter change cycle is only about 6 months. In our RO membrane, you would only change every 2 years. So there's not a lot of upkeep, not a lot of maintenance, and it's I think very cost effective. A lot of our customers tell us, they were drinking, bottled water, or they were having water coolers, and once they got this, they were pleased with how much money they're saving and how much time they're saving.
And the pricing on the circle unit, the reverse osmosis circle?
So that unit is at about $350, I think.
And the filters, you're saying, need replacement about every 6 months or so?
Yeah, about every 6 months for those filters.
So where is the best place for our listeners to go for more information?
So the best place for your listeners to go would be www.brondell.com. And right now, for your listeners, I'm going to offer a promo code, 15% off anything site-wide if they use the promo code FRED15 at checkout. So FRED15 at checkout, and that's 15% off the entire site.
Terrific. And again, the site is brondell.com, Brondell.com. Daniel Lalley, thanks for taking the time with us.
Thanks so much, Fred. I enjoyed it.
Now this. How many companies out there have continued to innovate when it comes to building a better radio? I'm Fred Fishkin, host of Techstination, and I'm here to tell you about the new CC Skywave SSB radio from the wonderful people at C. Crane. Bob and his crew really love radio, and it shows in this new compact model that is packed with features. Beyond great AM and FM reception and sound, you can tune into shortwave signals from around the world, listen to ham radio operators, aviation, and more. It's the radio you'll turn to every day and in emergencies. It will run for nearly 3 days on just 2 AA batteries. Pair the sleep timer with the new Soft Speaker 3, and you've got the perfect radio for your nightstand. Of course, it can wake you up too. Click on Crane at Techstination.com and put in the code Techstination for a free flashlight with your order. They love radio, and you'll love Crane.